All right, the first thing we need to know is what we are actually selling. That might seem like a no-brainer, an obvious thing, but as you know, we get clients who don't know exactly what they're selling. They may have it narrowed down to maybe 3 different items and they want our help to determine what's going to be most viable. After we have our product figured out, we know what we're selling, we need to know the answer to these 2 things right here. Number 1 is going to be features, and the second is going to be the benefits of this particular product. Now the features, that's easy. That comes straight from the manufacturer. That's in their marketing materials. It's on the label of the product. It's on their website. They tell us this is what the product is. This is what the product does, okay? But oftentimes it's manufacturer jargon, right? Time released, scientifically proven, clinically tested, right? Slow absorption, right? And it doesn't resonate specifically with our audience. That's why we need the benefits. Now, what they tell us the benefits are isn't going to resonate with our audience necessarily. The benefits need to answer this question, because this is the question that everybody else wants to know the answer to. What is in it for me? How does this help me specifically? How does this solve my problem? And that's what leads us to the next thing that we need to figure out, and that is the who. Understand, we cannot answer this until we have an answer for this, okay? What's in it for me? That depends. Who are you? You see, there might be 10 different groups of people that would buy this product right here. This is the product that we're selling. Okay, lots of people are interested in this product. That's the what, okay? But we can't speak to 100 people simultaneously. So let's say, for instance, we're selling a weight loss product. What's the feature? The feature is obvious. It's weight loss. But weight loss is different to different people. The person who's interested in losing 20 pounds before their wedding, the benefits to them is that you're going to look great at your wedding, in your photos, in your tuxedo. But the person who is interested in weight loss that was just diagnosed with type 2 diabetes that wants to live a more manageable and healthy life, we need to speak to that person accordingly. If we talk to the diabetic about looking good in their clothing, we're not going to sell a single product. If you want to sell, you need to know who you're selling it to. And there's a lot of different people, groups of people, who will want your product. But you can't sell to all of them at once. When you got budget, you can. When you got budget, you can. If you're a car manufacturer, an automobile manufacturer, then you can sell to every one of your groups of people. People who are interested in safety, sell them on safety. People who are interested in style, sell them on style. They're interested in speed and handling, sell them on that. But each one of those groups of people is going to need a different message. Once we know who we're selling to, we're going to go this way to our ad, okay? And this is what we're going to use right here to determine our targeting. So why do we need to know who? Well, the most obvious is to know who do we display an ad to. Here's going to be some fancy, enticing copy that's going to get them to click here to learn more, okay? Then they're going to go to a landing page, which is going to exist right here. And on this landing page, we're going to have 4 components primarily, and they are going to be comprised of text, which is going to tell us exactly what the product is. It's going to outline those features and benefits. It's going to also have some graphic images, right? Some photos and whatnot. Okay, it's also going to have, most importantly, a call to action. In this case, we're selling a supplement. So our call to action is going to be a buy now button, okay? And then lastly, we're going to have some sort of finish or flourish on our sales page. This is just going to polish it up, make it look a little more sleek and professional, and add a certain level of confidence to the consumer that we are who we say we are, we know what we're doing, and we're going to offer you a good product. This is usually accomplished right now by video. This works really well. A good video, a bad video can work against you, but a good video can really push somebody over the edge if they're thinking about buying it but not exactly sure. The video has got to be congruent with the text. We don't want to replicate what the text says. We want to add to it. The video says what the text doesn't. The text says what the video doesn't, but both of them work together for the same purpose, and that's to sell product. Now, let's assume, for instance, that we're selling a product at $50 with 100% markup, which means we're going to end up with, that's 100% markup right there, okay? $50, meaning that we made $25 net profit on that, okay? How's that number working out for you? You just made 25 bucks. Does that make sense? Can we make money off of this? Well, you got agency fees and you got ad spend to consider. So if we sell 100 of these, what does that mean? Well, it means we made $2,500. Is that enough? In most cases, probably not. You're going to be close to the break-even point. So how do you make money then? Well, one is going to be the upsell, okay? And then the second way, it could be, doesn't have to be, but it could be shipping, okay? You can add an extra $5 to shipping, and then for every 100 you sell, you make an extra $500, okay? So that's not bad, right? Once we get that working, right, and we get an upsell, maybe 10% by the upsell, and we make another, whatever, $25 or so, then we can scale that, and we can actually make money. But it's important to have a mid-ticket to high-ticket offer to offset this, because these are dollars and cents compared to what we could be getting. So let's take a look at what that high-ticket offer might look like over here, okay? Because what we want to do is direct this traffic up here to our webinar, okay? And that webinar is going to maybe say make a $500 offer, for instance, okay? And we're going to say this is what you're going to get. And let's suppose we got a basket here full of stuff. What's in that basket? Well, we're just going to load it up with a bunch of random things that we think might offer $500 worth of value. And that's the way most people do it, and it's wrong, because what they find out is they put a lot of work into this only to end up with 0 sales. Because you say, oh, we can add a newsletter, and we can add a subscription, and we can add a access to our group, and we can add all these different things, okay, but none of which resonate with our audience. Because what this webinar should be is a solution to a problem, okay? This is what you're selling. A problem, solution, scenario when you run a webinar for mid-ticket to high-ticket, right there. Problem and solution, okay? I recognize that you have a problem, and I have a solution for you, and I'm going to include all of this, and people will jump on the fact that it's $500 because you're actually solving the problem. Should it be 500? Should it be 1,000? Should it be 5,000? 10,000? The answer is how severe this is. The bigger the problem, right, the more money you can charge for it. Okay, so when you're dealing, say, to you're solving a big problem for a very large company, to a CEO of a very large company, they'd be paying tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands or even millions of dollars for a solution to that problem. When you're dealing with B2C, the consumer is going to pay less, but they will still pay a decent amount if you're solving a large enough problem. But what problem are you solving here? You must know the answer to that before you put this package together to know that it's going to effectively solve the problem. And you can't put this package together and solve the problem unless if you know who you are solving the problem for. You need to understand who they are. You need to understand what their pain point is. Now let's go back over here to our original ad. Because what we didn't discuss here was what else was happening here in this small profits that we're making from the sale of this product. The sale of this product, what really happened, where the real value is right here. And that's the list of people that we're accumulating who expressed an interest in the product and took their credit card out of their pocket and actually made a purchase. This is where the gold is, because now we have 100 people who have trusted us to buy from us, right, that we can funnel back to the mid-ticket offer. Okay, now in the meantime, these people are going to get entered into an automated email sequence. Okay, and each one of those emails, okay, is going to build rapport. It's going to build trust. It's going to position you as the forefront authority in a certain thing, a certain niche. And every one of them is going to show them, these people, that you have the solution to their problem. Now you're going to follow up with an invitation to go to this webinar. Now, if they bought that product, chances are they liked that product and that resonated with them, so put that product in the webinar as an extra value. They love the product already, or we can assume, right? So why wouldn't they want more of it? And you say, hey, for $500, I'm going to give you the big container plus a couple to give to your friends, right? And we're adding value. Does it add value, though? Does it really add value? Of course it does. We know they're interested in this product. They already purchased it. So when they see this, they're going to say, oh, I'm familiar with this product. I like this product. I tried this product. I've been telling my friends and family to get this product. And now I can get a bigger container, or I can get put on the auto ship. Maybe you can give them 3 months of auto ship. And then if they want to cancel at any point in time, they could certainly do this. You sell them the $500 solution to their problem, right? And then you sell them on a monthly continuity subscription for a period of 90 days that they can opt out of any time. So there's just another revenue stream right there. But you have to be solving a problem for these people. Assume for a minute that we're selling a product that increases size in your bicep, right? This is important to who? Yeah, the bodybuilder, right? Nobody else would be interested. Who wants a bigger bicep except the bodybuilder? We know who our target market is, okay? So maybe they've reached a particular sticking point, and they want to reach past that plateau. So our webinar copy might be something like, if you're anything like me, you may have been in the gym, find yourself in the gym every day consistently for years. And maybe you've achieved some progress, but you found that your biceps aren't really keeping up with the rest of you. That was my problem. You know, I was increasing my mass and my strength in my chest, in my glutes, in my back, you know, and I was increasing my weights, I was increasing my size, you know, but my biceps were pretty much staying the same. And they didn't seem to be growing. In fact, they seemed to be getting weaker. Sometimes my weights would go down. So I would try to put more weight on to tax my muscles, hoping that the increased weight would produce better results. But in fact, I was ending up fatigued, I was overtraining, I was irritable, and I didn't know what to, and I felt like I was starting to kind of look a little disproportionate, maybe even a little silly. So I started researching what other people were doing. I was looking at Mike Metzer's superset routine. I was looking at what Mr. Universe was doing, and I was reading, you know, Iron Man magazine. I was trying to figure out how to increase my bicep size, and then it finally occurred to me. I discovered the #1 method that I've tested and tested again, and without a fail, I was able to put 2 inches onto my bicep in just 4 months. That's a total of a ½ an inch per month that I was able to add to my biceps. I thought this couldn't possibly be true. So I asked a couple of friends of mine, my training partners in the gym, so that they could try it out. And they did, and they had almost identical results. So with my mind blown, I thought, I got to keep doing this. I did. Another 4 months later, what happened? Another 2 inches. And I couldn't believe it. And then I felt like I had to share this with everybody I know. And today, I'm going to share this same exact concept with you. I'm going to walk you through my 3-step approach and showing you what I've done. And then afterwards, I'm going to show you how I can work with you directly so that you can achieve the same exact results too. Are you ready? Let's begin. And that is kind of, I mean, that's off the top of my head, but that's a general outline of what our webinar may actually look like. But as you can see, if those people, those, let's say 100 people, right, that we sold the supplement to already, right, are also having this issue, with size, mass, right? Strength in their bicep. This is really going to resonate with them. We are very specifically, right? It's not just mass, it's bicep mass, right? This is something that the six-pack abs guys have discovered over recent years, was that belly fat is a huge issue for people. Spot training doesn't necessarily work a lot of the time, and we know this, but that's what resonates with these people. The whole concept of belly fat, six-pack abs, right? So that's what they're selling. They're selling the body part that people are most interested in. In this example, we would be selling, and I'm not saying that this is what we would sell. I think this would be a ridiculous offer. This is all just an example, a hypothetical example. And the example is to outline the idea that if we're targeting a very specific niche group of people, and specifically solving their problem, and we're convincing them that we have the solution. You've tried other things, but you haven't tried this. This actually works. They will buy it, and they'll buy it every day. They'll buy it all day long, right? But the key here is to make sure that we have the right people in our webinar. And then everything in this basket here that we're offering them is congruent with being the solution to the problem. Now, let's look back over here again, and our email list, okay? Remember, every one of these emails was all about bicep growth and bicep strength. Or not everyone, but we transitioned into that because we had a strong belief in the fact that that's what they were looking for, because that's who we target our ads to, because we had knowledge and understanding about who our target market was, right? So it's very important that this matches our other high ticket or mid ticket offer. They have to be congruent with each other, because the people interested in our product, they could be so many different groups of people. Now, what happens if we just run the offer for the product? Could we sell 100 to 100 random people? Yes, you can. But what happens when those 100 random people get to the webinar? Don't answer that, I can tell you. Nothing. Nothing will happen. You won't sell anything. Trust me, I've done this. I've done this. You know, and you guys, you know that. So look, here's what we're looking at. How many different groups of people, you know, might be interested in what we're talking about? Well, it's irrelevant. What if we get the wrong group? What if we get a group of, say, 100 pregnant women? Do you think they would be interested in a green supplement? Yeah, of course. They're eating for two. They want extra nutrition. That's a good target. If we send emails about muscle growth to pregnant women, this is not going to resonate with them. We're not going to build authority. We're not going to build rapport. We're not going to build trust. Everything that we need to build over the course of, say, 5 to 10 emails before we invite them to a webinar that they are absolutely not interested in, okay? Pregnant women do not want to grow their biceps, period. And you're going to wonder why you're not selling a single mid-ticket offer, and it's because it was not highly targeted. You need to know who your market is. So how do we figure that out? There's two ways. Number one is data. Where's that data come from? The data comes from the client in an established business. The client knows the median age, the gender, and why they're taking it and what's important to them. So we have a better idea of targeting, okay? That's where that data comes from. Now, if we don't have data from the client, in the case of, say, an unestablished business, we can create the data by testing. We run a bunch of test ads. We figure out who we want our target market to be based on who's most interested, but we run multiple segments. We run an ad to pregnant women. We run an ad to, for the supplement, that is. We run an ad to the bodybuilder, to the CrossFitter, to all different groups of people. This costs a lot of money, okay, and can get very expensive. All right, so we don't like to do that if we don't have large spend. The second way is that we can guess. Okay, guessing says, you know what, I think our audience is going to be this group of people. I suspect that maybe it's going to be more male-centric or female-centric, whatever it is that we're selling. And so by guessing, right, Guessing, the disadvantage here is that it costs a lot of money because you're going to guess wrong several times before you guess right. Now, let's assume we got our targeting right. Okay, that's the obvious thing. We need to get our targeting right. We need to know who you're marketing to, right? But remember this over here? What does this landing page consist of? Text. Somebody's got to write that text. Now, sometimes the client already wrote the text, and they say, run this text. Sometimes they want us to write the text. Now, in the case of a new business, which is something we deal with often, we write the text. But what does the text say? What does the text say? If you're doing a weight loss, if you're selling a weight loss supplement, the text should say something about looking great in your old clothes again. If you're dealing with people who are interested in weight loss for cosmetic reasons, purely aesthetics. But if you're selling a weight loss product to people who are interested in health, then the text on this landing page should be congruent with the video on this landing page, which should all be about health, vitality, longevity. Do you understand? So, what should that text say? Let me tell you. This is what we do when we're dealing with a low budget scenario where we don't have money to throw away on data or guessing. Okay? And we use this concept of testimonials. We give away free trials, right? We've all seen this before, right? Get 2 weeks free of this software. 2 weeks free. At the end of 2 weeks, what? You buy it or you don't buy it. If you love the software, you're going to continue your subscription. You get 30 days free. You get a free sample, free trial. Okay? So we give those away. Large companies use the same concept. They do focus groups. They gather people into a room. They ask them questions. They interview them. They ask them to try the product out for a week. And then they ask them what they think. So what we do is we say, let's get 10 people, okay? And we get those 10 people to try the product out for 7 days, okay? And then we ask them what they think of it. They ask them, we're going to tell them we're going to give it to them absolutely free, a 7-day supply, absolutely free. Chances are, we want to find people who would be interested in this product and also match the fitness aspect of things. So we're looking at, 7 days, and then at the end of that 7 days, we're going to ask them for 3 to 5 paragraphs. Okay, this is our a very inexpensive, extremely inexpensive focus group. Large companies spend hundreds of thousands of dollars on their focus groups. We can spend very, very little, usually less than $100 to get some good results. 3 to 5 paragraphs times 10. That means we end up with 30 to 50 paragraphs of text that make up the text on our landing page. Once we see what these people are saying, we can edit that however we want and then rewrite it and put it in whatever order we want, because everything that they say is going to be personal to them. And each one of these people, now this could be 100 people too, and 100 people would be better than 10, but I like to use 10. Okay? 100 people I like, but at least 10. Okay? Those 10 people are going to represent 10,000. So what they say resonated with them. Those words are going to speak to the heart of the people who are clicking our ad. Okay? These people are going to tell us, if 10 people, 5 are male, 5 are female, right? Let's suppose the 5 female were more interested in mental clarity and the 5 male were interested in energy. Well, that might help us determine our targeting. But where most people use testimonials is they copy and paste it and put it on their sales page. Well, sure, we could do that. That's elementary stuff. That's a no-brainer. Testimonials are important because it shows social proof? Maybe. Not always, not necessarily. Sometimes it can be. Tim Ferriss promoting athletic greens. Does that work? I think so. I think it works very good. But that's not what we're talking about here. We're talking about 30 to 50 paragraphs that we can draw some very specific, not case studies, but content. This is what we're after. Because we need sales content that is going to resonate with our audience. And nothing's going to do that like a first-hand testimonial. So who should we go to? People that have been using the product for the last 10 years or 10 months? No. We go for new people who have never ever tried it before, because they're going to be most interested in trying the product. They're going to be most excited about it. They're going to be most excited about the fact that they're getting a 7-day sample for absolutely free and supporting a new business and being involved in something that could be great if you can find these people. You know, and then we're going to get their content. They're going to give us more passionate review. And that's really what we're looking for. We're looking for a product review. We don't want features, energy, right? Better sleep. Okay, that's not content. They're bullet points. You cannot sell a product based on bullet points. You need heartfelt content that emotionally resonates with your audience. Okay, and nothing does that better than actually hearing the feedback from the audience who tried it and find out what their experience was. Okay, if they hate it, well, that's a different story. But assuming that they like it, what we want is their experience. Because we know that they are, they're going to represent so many more people. Their experience is going to resonate with our audience. And we're smart enough to know that a lot of people are not going to buy it to their cart the very first time. They're going to need to see it again and again and again and again. And we want to make sure that every time we reach out to these people who have expressed an interest because they've opted in or they visited that page, that we're actually delivering the right messages so that they will buy the product and then ultimately go over to our mid-ticket. We need to know what these people's problem is. What is their problem? What is their problem? And this, we need data. We need data. What is this? What are these 30, 50 paragraphs? That's data. Are we still guessing? Yes, but we mitigate the guess. We can guess much less now because we actually have raw data. Raw data is going to come through two ways. It's going to come from money or it's going to come from labor. Okay? That means hustling to find your first 10 customers. Okay? If you can't find 10 customers for free, then we're going to have a very difficult time finding thousands of customers that would be willing to pay money for the product.